All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts.
Right here, if you have a beard, random men are going to always walk up to you and try to lick your beard.
Ew, that's so disgusting.
You're one of men's skin.
Hold on, so I'm like, nope. Oh, well, you lost all your fleets.
Oh fuck, not what we intended. Oh god, what do we do?
The Meta Show.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Meta Show. We do not have an ice trick today, but we do have the lovely Kira coming in to co-host for us, and we also joined by Raknor Bile, who neutered our move up last Saturday, if you remember the last Meta Show. So welcome both of you guys to the Meta Show. Thanks for coming and on and helping fill in this week. And like I said, we're going to kick it off with introducing Rakner and just a little bit about history about yourself, what you do in EVE, how you got started, how long you've been playing EVE, etc.
All right, yeah. So I've been playing EVE since about 2007, on and off. Not really. I was a high-sec miner back then, as I think everyone starts out. Then I started my first foray into Nullsec. I think I was in Brick Squad, and we had loads of fun in Brick Squad. It was a great time to live in EVE. Then we graduated to Black Legion, where I just sat back, didn't really do much. I only really started FCing majorly for like the last 2 years in EVE, I think. And I've just slowly worked my way up, I guess.
That's really awesome. I personally did not start high-sec mining ever, but if that's the way, apparently. How long were you a high-sec miner for?
I'm not sure. It must have been a good year, I think. I'm pretty sure I invented jet can mining only to discover it was already a thing. Like, I right-clicked one day, I realised the jet can existed. Apparently, so did everyone else, so I wasn't as special as I thought. But Executors were really good at mining back then. I loved them. They were great.
Yeah, I actually don't think I've ever mined in this game. Kira, have you ever mined in this game?
Kira, actually, I have for my first week in the game, I think, and then I moved on and never mined a single rock since that point.
And according to chat Rakner, if my beard and your beard touched, it might spark some sort of quantum event that ends the universe.
I think that's probably true.
Yeah, so it's a good thing that you're,
I think
you're
that's a distinct possibility.
not here.
Yeah, good thing I'm a Euro, right? Good
Yeah,
thing.
there's a large lake in between the two of us. But no, like I said, we
It's
did
just
get
a mild
into
one.
this a little bit last week, but last Saturday, right as the Meta Show was starting, iconically enough, we had a move up going on, and you and with help from Fountain Core, or I believe Fountain Core got the tackle on our supers. You want to kind of walk us through what happened there?
Yeah, so basically, I was minding my own business when one of our CEOs, Bacifus Morgan, he just told us, you guys had a move up plan for the weekend, and we were like, all right, well, what is it? Like, the last ever move up. We were like, oh, this is good. Fountain Core were really keen. They're really good at tackling things. I mean, they've tackled your supers a few times. Only you've managed to save them. You normally manage to save them, but obviously you weren't in the area this time. But yeah, they got the initial tackle. We had everything set up. You know, the Titans pre-staged for like the mids. As soon as the core guy called the bubble, that's it. Just mad pinging, and the rest is like history. Really.
Yeah. They met, like, this happened, I think, 15 minutes before the Meta Show was supposed to start last weekend, and I was getting involved and looking, and then one of our 13 spies in Black Legion told me that your dreads were on the move already, and I was like, yeah, they're fucked. So I was like, start doing the Meta Show. So I was going to move it back and try to help, but then I heard about the dreads, and I was like, no, it's done.
We were the whole time it was going down. We were wondering if it would have suddenly Ishtars and Harpies. You know, we were thinking, oh, is this bait? This doesn't seem like you boys. You know.
Yeah, looking back, it was a lot of hubris that went into the op. Apparently, I wasn't actually involved with it, but it was pretty hilarious to see what was actually defending our handful of supers.
You had all sorts. You had like a random panther on the field, like the most eclectic mix of space vessels you ever seen, even like.
It was. Yeah, it looks. It was the last boat out of Saigon, I guess. So everyone was just getting whatever was left down there and moving it. But let's see. Well, this week we had a lot of changes get announced, like in the 07 show. One of them is the structures dev blog. Have you taken much time to look at that, Kira and Rakner?
I looked at.
I had a read. I'm not sure how much I understood.
I looked at the Citadel one, which is effectively just a POS replacement, or it's what they're angling to replace POS, I think. And the guns and the Doomsdays and stuff. But I don't read too far ahead in those things because obviously a lot's to change. And if you get too focused on, wow, we're going to be able to Doomsday dreads that come to our POS, but then you realise there'll be no need for a dread to be unfilled because you Inosis it rather than shoot it with a dreadnought. So I just stay back and don't actually watch those things or read them too much until like an actual dev blog's out that says, look, this is what it's getting, this is how long it will take to Inosis.
Well, like I think most of this actually slated for like the Christmas area time frame. So that most of this probably will change, like you said before then, and hopefully the capital rebalance will be between here and there, and then that way we can actually see how they're going to be interacting. Because right now, besides like lap dreads, if these outposts were to come in, there's no reason for you to actually use them.
There's basically no reason for you to use lap dreads at all now, except if you tackle someone else's supers. That they also have no reason to use now unless they tackle dreadnoughts. So it's
well, I mean that's why all of our supers were moving home, and that way they can go to our capital graveyard and just kind of sit there and chill, unsubbed, waiting. So if you come to Declan with a cat fleet, you better be scared.
Self-purpose insurance for blue dreads on the undock.
Also, I'm scrolling through these, and they're talking about how like there's the extra large ones and everything's supposed to be Inosis related. I'm not sure how well that's going to work out, tying every single piece of the game to these Inosis modules. I mean, it's like way back in the day, it used to be like the way to capture a system would be. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. It's just gonna. It feels like it's going it's not even very clear like how Inosis links are going to work completely overall. And then you add more and more things into these Inosis links, and so if that doesn't work out, then that just gives more room for failure. That's just what it feels to me.
I like the idea behind the Inosis Sov. Stuff definitely needed to change, but I'm also, I guess I'm against. I'm against them. The stated purpose was to not affect how the game is played, but by adding everything as Inosis, that's exactly what they are doing, right? I mean, everything that your dread could previously hit, so every Sov structure is gone. So like 80% of the stuff most people use dreads for is out of the game, which means 80% of the reason to use the dread is gone. Same with supers, and they're only prey left available. There's nothing really for them to shoot. So it's a nerf to supers in its own way because there'll be no real reason to use them as opposed to actually nerfing the vessel itself, right?
Right. Well, and they're talking about repurposing supers and capitals to where they will still be used in everyday warfare. But when it comes to ships like that, if you don't have something that they're required to be on grid for, like shooting POS, then what's the point of dropping them and then causing the higher escalation to supers? Like we've like Black Legion, for example, you guys used to be really good at doing the 5-minute siege and get the fuck out in Venal. And we called you a few times, and there with the Inosis links, there's no reason to actually have that sort of warfare anymore.
You'll have that on towers until they bring in these citadels, right? So, but the moment citadels are in, they've killed the dreadnought. Obviously, at the same time, I imagine they're gonna repurpose the dread to actually do something other than kill Dominixes that happen to be floating about.
They're going to change the dreadnought to a mining vessel. It's going to be like a super oracle.
I'd fit mine lasers to that.
That way you can
actually,
keep your
one of my
outside.
friends did. No, my friend actually fit a Moros with mining lasers and wet mining, belt mining for a while before he got ganked, but that was, it probably shouldn't be done.
Unless it's a gimmick. So, a few weeks ago, I believe thematani.com released an article about some drama inside Black Legion, Elo taking a break and stuff like that. Can you tell us a little bit more about what happened with Elo and situation there?
So Elo, like everyone does, he used to put like a lot of hours into this game. FC all the fleets, and he just got a bit burnt out, I guess, and decided to take a break, as you do. The drama isn't. It's not as bad as Reddit would make out. Reddit, well, we've already disbanded, I think, according to Reddit. So,
as Reddit does.
Yeah, as Reddit does. I mean, all the corps are working really well together. Ipsimus, Origin CEO now, he's taken his corp to go, get their own content. But it's actually working out really well for the Alliance because now we've got a separate group that can do like a mini fleet, like so at the moment they're doing Pete's or like a different armor doctrine when we do Shield, just to diversify the fight. I mean, they brought Pete's the other day. It worked really well because Crucifiers are horrific, especially when they have to say 65, and the Pete's just turned like 60 Crucifiers into like 60 pods in about 30 seconds or something. It was magnificent to watch. But when Fozzie Sov hits, having that capability is going to be really important because the main fleet will sit around and stop their main fleet, I guess, and there's not much you can do about 20 Peeps. I mean, if you activate your Inosis link, well, there's 20 Peeps there, around. You're just going to get dead real quick. Doesn't matter what you are. So, I think that's the. I don't think that's the whole idea behind it. The idea behind it was them to get their own activity up because after the Phantom War activity was down a lot for a lot of Black Legion, but we've just do fleets, work on it, get up, and everything's working out fine now. Dog of War, the illustrious Drop Squad FC. He's calmed down his toxicity, one would say. I'm not sure if that's true. I love him. But,
yeah, there's a few, like in every single group of people in line, they have their Dog of War. So, I mean, it's not like it's unique, like Legion having some sort of toxic personality.
You've clearly never met Dog of War. There's only one Dog of War.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. But no, I think Elo taking a break is actually a really, really good thing for Black Legion, and that's the only way for Black Legion to get away from being Elo and to being able to an actual like organization. I think, like in EVE Online, the only way typically to grow FCs and grow organization is to have that one person filling all the roles to kind of step back and let other people step up. Stepping away that provides a vacuum for people to step up and fill.
Definitely. I mean, I've stepped up in a big way recently because with Elo away, I've been doing most of the US time zone fleets as well as like the EU, where before Elo would do like all weekend fleets, all US time zone fleets, and that's not a bad thing. Obviously, he's better at it than me, so that's all good. But the more you do it, the more experience you get. The more confident you are in going out and murdering space vessels. So it works out for the best.
Absolutely, and like I tell other people who always ask me how to get into FCing, I say you just need to get out there and lose fleets, and that's the only way you're going to learn. And you have to make mistakes and figure it out.
There's no other way of learning how to FC other than do it.
Do it, but
have you FC much, Kira?
Yeah, I FC strat-ops and stuff like that in Brave, so despite being new, I kind of have a lot of FC experience. So for me, what I found was learning the game itself was one of those things that needed to happen before you can FC properly. And the other thing was definitely just going out there and trying it and losing fleets and trying to do your best to figure out how to move quickly and think through a lot of information really quickly. But you can't really just do that by book learning. A lot of that seems to be based on going out and doing it, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's
costly, but
yeah, there's some like book learning and stuff that you can do, like to learn. But one of those things is going to be like knowing kind of like the current metas and how certain organizations fit certain ships. And once you figure out how that ship is fit, you can kind of know how to counter it, or rather, Eve is very rock paper scissors design when it comes to what ship types can fight what and what. On our list as well, we have the Sov status report. Which, what do you guys think about that?
What they
the dev
what
blog
they're
that
banning.
Fozzie released this week or last week.
Well, they're pushing back Fozzie Sov.
Right, they're
Right.
pushing it back a month.
And we're just going to get to Inosis station services, which just seems like a horrific thing to force upon people.
Yeah, I think that's what they're actually releasing in June, is the services thing.
Previously, though, because it scales, doesn't it, with your own defensive index. So if say it takes them 20 minutes to RF your one of your station services, when you undock, once they go home, it will only take you 4 or 5 minutes to rep up. So it's as far as that mechanic works, I think it's a waste of time. I don't think there's nothing put in it. There's no risk either. It's not like someone's going to undock and maybe triage a carrier to like rep up their services quick because they want to be able to refit or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna lose a lot of your doomsdays on undocks and stuff like that when it comes to that.
Yeah, not to mention now, if someone comes to your undock, the current thing, you undock big, right, and something that's going to either catch them or crush them. Where if they're in Toaston, you're getting a free kill, regardless of what it is. It's going to be at worst, it's a frigate with a 40 million ISK module on it. So, free kills, I guess.
Well, everyone was terrified of Interceptors MWDing at 245 kilometers and toasting it that way. But I mean, I think
the
that's
original,
okay.
yeah, the original. Well, obviously the very first that was put out. Obviously the 18k in a second swivel was a real possibility, but the fact that E-War works on it, I mean, you just need a Maulus, right? And you just, good luck with that. Now you've got to get in.
Yeah.
In like 20k, at which point you're going to get webbed or scrambled by Lachesis or anything and die. And the time it takes a fully upgraded system, I mean, an hour to reinforce a station, it doesn't take that long to do it even in a small subcap fleet now, right? So you're not shooting ammo or expending ammo, but the grind is still there. They haven't actually solved the grind. Hitting any space that anyone actually owns or wants to fight for is still going to be more of a grind than hitting, say, an empty system that no one cares about. Obviously, that's going to be easy to take, but it'd be easy to take before if someone wasn't willing to defend, right?
Yeah, so I mean, in that aspect, you're going to see the outlier regions start getting taken up by new entities, hopefully, or by old entities who know that no one wants to fight for it anyways, so they're just going to be able to hold on to it, like Omist and all those fringe regions. Because who the hell wants to travel to Omist anyways?
The renters that live there.
It sounds like.
I think one. There you go.
Oh, sorry. No, keep going.
All right. What were you saying, Rakner?
I think one corporation bought it all, and in their description it's almost Renter Corporation. I mean, it says Blackreach right now, right? So we're free of the shackles there.
Well, I think they also made it to where you cannot train the Inosis module on new accounts, like trial accounts. So you're not gonna have anyone like mass making trials and then using those trials to go Inosis your shit. That was a good change, but you can still get like a new character and a frigate or some other thing and just go and move it around people's space and leave it logged off until their prime time hits, and then log it in and just cause havoc.
Yeah, but a single frigate, so the frigate will have the 5-minute spool up. So for 5 minutes in the empty system, no one will know what's going on, and then they're going to get a notification, and it's only going to take one guy in a malediction to go over there and be like, check out this Atron. What's he doing? Free chemo, free loot from the 40 million ISK module that can drop. So I'm not worried about the Interceptors. What's going to be good is it's going to small gangs coming in, like kitey gangs, trying to do some kitey stuff, trying to just farm without actually trying to RF, just do one cycle then stop, not actually continue. Because I'm not sure, is there a mechanic that says it's actively getting in Inosis? Like after the first cycle, you get the notification saying it's being hit, but does it say, they've stopped hitting, or would you actually have to go check and see? Kind of like
I doubt it. I don't think they actually have the functionality for that to be scripted in, where it actually says, never mind, they're not hitting it anymore. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. So either way, you're gonna have to check, and it's gonna force people to be like, I wake up, the sky is falling.
Yeah, but I mean, what would come down to is when you have 30 systems or something being hit, and then only one of them is actually getting hit for real. So by the time you go and check all those systems, the other system's probably reinforced by then.
True, but if your empire is that vast that the 30 systems are actually think Declan. If it happened anywhere in Declan, you'd have 100 random guys and harpies and hawks there in like minutes. So it'd be fine for you. But if it happens to, we've taken a lot of Sov in Black Legion. If it happened to half of our systems, we just wouldn't really care. We took them because it's going to be free without the iHub. So there's no real reason. And the POS fuel reduction is always an incentive.
While passes are around. until all the Citadels come in.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, what's that going to do to our income? We've only just taken this. What you do this to us, Fozzie?
This is a Black Legion nerf, absolutely.
Yeah, but with the delay though, it just seems to leave a lot of things still up in the air, and everyone's been waiting for Fozzie Sov for the last while, and we're just going to have more and more people just waiting and holding their baby breath, trying to get ready for Fozzie Sov. Like, the metagame's just not going to be moving too much, I don't think, for the next little while until Fozzie Sov finally kind of comes along.
Well, I mean, that's the real problem, is right now there is nothing going on in EVE, like, on like a large scale, like wars-wise. So people are, like, EVE right now is pretty stagnant. I think you have, the stuff going on in Fountain between Rakner and BL and Brave. But, well, then I guess you have the Pravi stuff going on as well, but that's about it. But there's nothing like, that's just like kind of skirmishing, nothing like major fleets or anything like that. So them pushing things back another month for the actual major Sov changes, and that's just another month of people sitting here tweedling with letting their subs lapse.
Yeah, I think Aquarius is pretty active. I know you guys are sending these down a lot of nights. Triumvirate and Nully involved in some sort of death brawl up in the most worthless space in EVE. So there's some action, but yeah, there's no reason to have a war though right now, right? Mm-hmm. There's none whatsoever.
Yeah, because everyone's waiting. Everyone's waiting and wants to see what happens. What happens at the end of Fozzie changes, and then waiting to see what everyone else does.
Well, we hit Fountain more of a why not? No real chance of actually beating you. More of a you got to try and get out of the way. It didn't really work out.
Well, we also moved everything down there.
Made you grind a region.
Yeah.
Get baited. I don't know. Yeah, so there's not really
working as intended.
I don't know. It helped promote like conflict up north, like the venal Russ are going off on one on CO2 and stuff, just like daily capital holocausts. Like I don't even know what's going on up there. Just like I don't know how you manage to lose that many caps so consistently, but. Yeah, like even the venal Russ, just dreads exploding everywhere apparently because Black Legion guys ping, and their secret op is suddenly not secret when you ping to Black Legion, and so you go, oh wait a minute, a secret dread op up in venal. Should we pre-station Titans? And Sebastian's like, yeah, I think maybe we should.
Yeah, well, the CO2 guys, they live dangerously. Like they've been like doing huge amounts of drive-bys in like the past few months.
I think no CFC alliance uses caps more than CO2, which is probably why they lose so many, because they actually use them far more than the others.
Absolutely, because all the other typical capital losses for CFC over the span of the last few months has been ratting carriers.
Mo going off on the ratting carriers.
Oh dear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we lost something like 200 or 300 ratting carriers last year. I mean, it's not a small number.
I think it's increased this year. I think it's about 2 a day or something. I'm sure it's crazy, like how you guys sustain it, but the guys just don't care.
Well, the funny thing is like it's not even a dent in these guys' wallet. The guys that are like ratting and carriers, are like whatever, I already paid for that carrier in the last few hours anyways ratting. So it's like there's people in the CFC who rat with like a team of like 10 carriers, and they're just like raking in money, and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, check the kill board. There's a lot of all ratting carriers as well. Yeah.
Yes, that is the number one capital loss for
Oh
the
God.
CFC. I think
Okay,
we've lost more.
that is wow.
We've lost more ratting carriers than the amount of losses probably occurred in BR5, like in value.
Oh wow.
Oh, I'm getting yelled at.
Oh wait, isn't it the Imperium now?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm getting yelled at in chat for calling it the CFC. It's habit, guys. CFC is so much easier to say than Imperium.
And you've been saying it for what year? A year, 2 years or something?
5 years, I think, maybe.
No,
That's-
you weren't the CFC for 5 years, surely.
No, we
You were
haven't.
Really?
Ever
You became
yeah.
this-
Well, the CFC started when Morsis Mihi was getting attacked in the north. That's when the CFC was founded. It's been
Yeah, I
that
guess it
long.
was, yeah.
It's scary, isn't it? Like I can see it on your face and just kind of hit you. Like it.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me of an old man.
Said last year's carrier, so it was. Yeah, well, yeah, it was last year carrier, so it was CFC then, I guess. Thanks for sticking up for me, CTU. Can we reset CO2? No, CO2 are bros. Someone has to show that they're semi-competent with capitals.
I've never spoken to GigX, but I imagine because he dies all the time, and when we were like roaming into HTEC-W, he'd always die, he'd always make mistakes. So he's not a particularly good like pilot at funny, but he must be just an amazing guy to actually speak to because they follow him, just blindly follow him. Like he FCs Ishtar fleets from an Ishtar, like even if he's fighting like 100 Ishtars, I just his man's got fools. Like I don't know how it works out for him, but it does apparently.
Now we love CO2. And the funny thing about CO2 is CO2 in some form has lived in Venal probably since the game's been out. Like back whenever you had Triumvirate living in Declan, CO2 lived in WLF area. So I mean they've always been around that region, and they're still there.
The Venal Russ, one of their like more elite PvP corps in it. They're like all the old Alliance tournament guys from CO2. So
So there are multiple forms now then.
yeah, like I guess they've got that like forever war hate that only comes from like alliances when they part ways. Like so they'll keep that going forever, I think.
Atrum in chat just says, my Titan died while Lazarus Telgrim fiddled with his live stream last weekend. It's true. I saw that those Titans were fucked, and I just started the stream instead.
Oh yeah, they were all done, buddy. There.
Oh.
Like I said, it
The
happened
AM
5
was
minutes
so
before.
far. The AM ended up so far away from all the other dreadnoughts. We had to just ping some up and back down. And we were like, I killed all the brave Scythes, and they had to ping back up, and they were back down and started killing the core dreads that were still on field. Well, we just saved like every dread within like 80 kilometers of us because we were just like, where are the sabers? Kill the sabers! Like,
Well, and our guys were like, let's send all of our supers back down to save them, and I was like, why? There's no reason. They're dead. Just stop. You're going to cause more headache than it's actually worth because moving supers is aids.
we had a Naglfar tackled at a perch on that grid by sound for like, it must have been like the entire fight nearly. And we warped up there, we cleared bubbles, we cleared all the tackle, the bubbles went down just as your Titans were landing on grid. We're like, jump out, jump out. And I thought he jumped out, he didn't, he warped to a safe because he didn't have jump cap and he got probed and murdered. I was like,
Nice.
oh, the best chance we had to like really save. I felt like a hero like when he finally walked off. I thought he jumped out, but then I checked the kill board later and I was like, wait a minute, he's dead.
Of course he doesn't say anything because you only get yelled at.
No, we saved like 30 dreadnoughts, right?
No, yes, you guys pretty much moonwalked out of that. I mean, that was a very, very good gank. I mean,
yeah, they couldn't. Hero couldn't really hold the tackle, right? So it was just Hero there to tackle us, and they're not. I guess they're not particularly great at tackling caps. Tested a lot of the heavy lifting in like the catch head GP fight. So, I mean, they're what like all the Dixers in a Mar or something. So, I guess Hero just haven't brought up like 3,000 Dixers or something yet. I'm pretty sure they do that to us at some point.
No, at like this thing. Okay, obviously I haven't been in Brave for about a month, but generally they've don't have a very good number of dictator pilots, and they don't have a large number of Hictors in particular. And then you don't have enough people to anchor bubbles as well, so it's usually a bit touch and go when it comes to trying to tackle caps and super caps, etc.
Oh yeah, you never have enough dictators when you want them though, right? Like you take your fleet out and you see like 40 dictators and like 6,000 crows, the worst spaceship in the game. I hate every single crow pilot ever.
But it looks cool!
When you need it, like there's just no dictators. Like Elise brought Orthros gang to Fountain, and they just jumped in, like these 20, 30 Orthros just decloaked and walked away because we had no stilettos. Like 70 issues just sat on the gate ready to just end all of their existences, and every single one of them just walked away. I couldn't be more sad. I was really, really sad. But you shout at your guys, and it's none of them. They're in other spaceships. You're like, I was really sad. Yeah, I was butt mad that night. Just watching them go so warp out.
I hate the whole warp immunity that they're slapping on ships. I despise them. I mean, it's. I
really like it, but I'd have really liked it if they just made it so the Tech 2 bubble and a Hictor, for example, stopped that immunity, because it would affect a very small amount of things, but it would actually mean it was a bit more useful, except for an extra 2-3k, which is not actually that useful.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. No, like that's what I hate about it, is there's no way to stop it. Like if there's a way to counter it, then then it's okay. But for them to run around willy-nilly, like the claws, like the 30 claws with artillery that warp in and alpha one of your scimitars and warp out.
You don't even know. At the moment, W Russia Brave FC, he does the same thing with like Raptors and Ares. Only they warp in and they just ECM burst and warp out.
That's what we started with Asher. Asher, the Reavers.
That's one of the fleets I used to lead.
Yeah, we counted
they
it.
They are mean. Rush cats, we call them.
Yeah, we counted it after a while because we couldn't even break a scythe. We were like, we can't even break these scythes. What's going on? Like, no one's looking, but just orbit MWD so they land behind and stuff. It was a simple counter, but at the start it was pretty devastating.
Yeah, we started that to you guys.
They're very useful. They're very, very useful. They are very, very annoying to FC when you have lots and lots of tie-dye, because just trying to get the lock so you can actually warp your fleet in is really, really difficult, and it's really easy for the FC to get killed. So it's touch and go, but they're easy to counter though, once you generally know. But until you counter them, they are very, very useful and fun. And they get lots of kills, including friendly kills, because they also break the locks of their friends, unfortunately.
I fit a smart bomb on my FC Tengu, so I get on all the kills as well.
Guys, we're about to start the fight. Let me smart bomb real quick.
It's the clear drones. Just the clear drones. Yeah.
Sure.
Or bombs. You can. I've killed bomb waves before with it. Doesn't happen as often as I like, but it's a possibility.
Yeah. All of our Dominixes fit smart bombs now, and everyone constantly smart bombs for no reason, and everyone then complains on comms, and it's a huge just clusterfuck. And as an FC, it makes you want to just fucking murder every single one of them. Like literally just walk up to every single person at their computer desk and shoot them in the back of the head. Because of course one person smart bombs and then 100 people whine about it.
The best one is when they start broadcasting, or like a void bomb hit us the other day, a void bomb, and I saw like 30 broadcasts for shields. I was like, you shitting me?
No.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell?
In BL, really, Raknor? I'm disappointed.
You will find that the guys who press F1 in Black Legion, Pandemic Legion, Goon Swarm, maybe Hero, I don't know, probably not, are just as good or bad as each other. There's no real difference in like how competent they are. There'll be some people will be better, some people will be worse. We've got some horrific pilots. We've got some really good ones. There's it's a spectrum.
It's expected. It was expected in Brave to broadcast for raps when you get hit by a bomb. Like everyone just broadcast and you just dealt with it. It was just the way it happened. And we would teach over and over again, do not broadcast for raps when you're being bombed, because everyone's being bombed, and primary needs to be yada yada yada. But I didn't think that you would have the same problem with BL.
Everyone has that.
Wow.
Everyone has that problem.
Every single person.
Everybody.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, illusions just went.
I do it all the time. I'm like, yeah, I'm the FC. I can get away with this.
I do that, but it's shooting blues that piss me off. Like, you know that dictator that comes in and bubbles that one guy, that one hostile,
Oh.
and then traps your entire fleet?
And yours, yeah. Or you call for a hick to bubble up, and the dictators just spam bubbles everywhere. You're like, oh,
Yeah, no,
looks like we're here for 2 minutes, boys.
yeah. So that's when we headshot that dictator. It's just, I think I've killed more friendly dictators than I've actually killed hostile dictators in this game, just because they do so much stupid shit. And
I'm a big fan of MTUs, friendly MTUs. If I can't get the loot, nobody can.
so you kill friendly tractor units, nice.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Oh, we have people do that in Fleet, and the person who owns the MTU starts crying, and I'm just like, dude, please, I don't give a shit.
Oh no, it's the worst when someone decides to bring an MTU to like a strat up and drop it, and you're just like, oh my god.
Tank skills, 96.
No. No.
I'd anchor my fleet on my MTU and just say triage, lock it up, keep it alive, boys.
Well, as the FC, you can do that.
Oh, well, you get away with a lot when you're an FC.
You're doing it for strategic purposes. You gotta make sure the loot gets scooped.
Yeah, the SLP fund.
The SRP fund.
Yep, SRP fund, morale fund, get the morale going,
But let's see, what else is on my list for today?
I think it was the Alliance tournament.
Yeah, we've not covered the Alliance tournament. So, Kira, are you participating in the Alliance tournament in any form?
Redemption Road probably is. I've been doing some practices with them. That's actually been really interesting and fun. It's a different way of approaching PvP because you've got set rules and you're trying to come up with doctrines that work and don't work, and it just seems to be really, really interesting. So I'm kind of practicing with them, but I'm not quite sure if I'll be flying with them for the actual thing, but it sounds absolutely fascinating, and obviously it's my first time with the Alliance tournament idea, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Awesome. Yeah, a lot of teams they'll have like 20, 30 people involved with it, but only like 10 people typically fly in it. But I mean, you need those people to fly against and test different ships. So it'll be fun if you get in. If not, it's still fun, like you said. And Rakner, Black Legion doing anything?
Yeah, we're planning on doing a team. So Mr. Hyde, he's like elite seller PvPer, hates PvP and frigates. That's beneath him. But at the moment you get him in a Inosis or sunk, he just goes off and just murders nerds. He's captain on our team this year. I think we've already got it all sorted. He's just finishing up exams or something, I think, before we really start doing it. We've got some teams that we're going to test against. But yeah, other than that, I'm not really that clued in because I don't really have time for like a alliance tournament between like leading fleets and my kid. I'll be like, yeah, I'll participate and just miss like every single practice game. And so yeah, there's no point in me getting involved.
I don't have a skill point. Everyone's like, can you fly this ship, Kira? I'm like, nope. Can you fly this? Yeah. Nope. What can you fly?
Yeah. Well, that's the way it is with the tournament. Is it's people that you have flying in the tournament are typically people that are going to be super high skill points, level 5s, and pretty much every ship class and stuff like that. And it's always that little percentages that a lot of times will matter. So that's the bad thing about being a newer player is when it comes to the tournament, they maybe in the future they could maybe just give everyone level 5 skills for like a blanket set of characters with all level 5s to use, and just to make an even playing field that way for the newer players.
I actually like that idea because that way, because the pilot skill is a lot. If you're just approaching RE Max or something, you're going to get holocausted. But when it comes to a new bro, for example, flying against me, just in the exact same ship that I've got more shield, more armor, more hull, more damage, better tracking, better speed, lower sig. I'm just better basically every regard because I've played the game longer. So even if he's slightly better skill, I can I can compensate for that just because I've played the game longer, and my hits hit more of the time and wreck more, and I can take more punishment even if I'm like fat fingering my keyboard because I'm not particularly good. So I like the idea of like introducing like a skill cap and stuff, because they capped it with Tech 2 rigs, didn't they? They're like no Tech 2 rigs because they used to be super expensive. Same with like snakes and crystals. They did the exact same for them because they're like they're really expensive. You can use hard wirings, but you can't use any of the pirate implants. That's mostly because they were too expensive. When the Alliance tournament started, they were, Bob could probably afford that stuff because they put billions into it back when actually billions was a lot of money.
Well,
but
even
now
the top hard wirings are expensive as shit. I mean, like if you want to have like everything maxed and then use the top, like do they allow the 6% hard wirings or only the 5%?
I think they allow the 6% because they're just from the Concordia piece. You can use the 2% and the 4%. I think so. I imagine you can use them.
Yeah, so even the 5 and 6% implants are expensive, like the hard wirings.
They might not allow it actually because could you imagine like trying to break like a roke or something with crystals and blue pill? It's just like, yeah, good luck, buddy.
No, but
so yeah, that's probably why they don't allow it actually, because you wouldn't be able to get it because you could have multiple logistics back then as well, couldn't you? So everyone was like 2 guardians and stuff, and like the matches were boring as hell in the original tournaments.
Well, I think it might actually be more interesting than like the whole blanket character thing, because let's be honest about it, with my skill points, if I get a blanket character with everything 5, I'm not going to know how to use it because I don't have the skills.
That's where you train though, right? Because
But wouldn't it be a better and interesting idea if you had like a tournament for the newer players? Like you had like an SP sort of capped tournament for newer players?
Not really,
like
because then all you'd get then is more experienced players getting their ropes out, as opposed to newer players.
Good point.
So they open up a different test server, don't they? Duality or something for the Alliance tournament. Or they did last year, I think.
I'm pretty sure they will do that again this year. That way, every single alliance has their own little like node where they can practice.
Yeah, exactly. So it wouldn't be hard for them because they gift you skill points all the time for taking part in whatever mass test they decide needs mass testing. So they could give you all these skill points, and sure, you've never flown your Griffin before, or your Kitsune before, or whatever. But that's why you practice. Like the Alliance tournament PvP is nothing like most PvP because. You're in a bubble first off, right? You can't walk across the arena like you would to catch stragglers. There's only so far you can go, so there's a limit on how far you can kite. So it's not the same environment. When we participated, one of our matches we were wrecking, and then one of our guys just flew out the arena like he was in I don't know. We were like, dude, it's 100k. He's like, how far away is it? We're like, don't go more than 100k, as he's just cruising and he hits the 125 mark. Just explodes. We're like, well, you just lost us the match because it was a full health Tengu. We're like, well, good fight, bud. But there's with practice, you can learn to use all the ships, because most of the fits are really weird. Like, how often would you put a tracking disruptors on stage stilettos, which don't need long points, obviously, because there's no warping out. So the PvP is, you guaranteed it, right? So people aren't going to be running away so much because the whole idea is to kill the enemy. Where what you'll get at the moment is if some elite PvP guys come to your space and they're kiting away in their Orthruses and whatnot, most of the time you're just like, yeah, nah, go ahead, or you'll just undock big, right? So the fact that it forced even teams because of the points, you don't get that on like TQ at all, really.
Well, like you're saying with the ship fittings and stuff. I mean, you'll have they'll find the ship that costs the least amount of points and has the most mid slots, just so they can just shove as much E-War and other things onto it as possible. So you have all these like unique fittings and unique scenarios when it comes to these to the tournament. So it is a complete different environment, like Rakner was saying.
Yeah, I have to say during the practice, I died twice because I went out of bounds. Because it's really hard to keep track of. Like, it's so easy to just go, okay, I'm just going to go a little bit further to avoid this ship, and then next minute, I'm technically dead. So
we discovered that despite it not being in the rules of disallowed modules, you are not allowed to fit a Sinusoidal field generator. Which we were devastated at because at the time, Darius, III, who's no longer allowed to play the game, we tried to fit it because the Jove space was actually within carrier range obviously before Phoebe. This was it was in carrier range of Geminate, our home, and we were going to get one of our guys to jump in the carrier and just throw out mining drones. Obviously, we'd get disqualified, but it was like our last match.
It would be hilarious.
Yeah, but the guy was like, "Yeah, no, you can't take that module off." We're like, "What? It's not on the disallowed list." But yeah, apparently they don't allow that, which was also a wound.
That would have been amazing to see. Just have a carrier show up in the middle of a fight.
Yeah, he'd have got to like do his like insta kill on a carrier. Which how often does he get to do that? They should have allowed it.
Well, CCP probably wouldn't know what the fuck to do. They would have showed up and like, that's not supposed to happen.
Well, it's not Sino Jam either as well, because obviously all the space was unclaimed.
Right.
Because the guy got banned in like the previous tournament for just before they could like move everyone out of the system. He just walked to gates and started flying around the Jev space. So they disqualified him from the tournament, and his team got docked points or something.
You just wanted to explore. Jeez.
Yeah, he did. He got to fly around gates until they were like, "Where's this guy? Wait a minute, is he, what's he doing? Just flying around Joe's space."
You know, I think I would have done that. I totally would have done that. If I had the opportunity, I would have done it.
Yeah, they're definitely been,
Actually, Marco Polo or Porkio in chat brought up a really good point. Talking about how people, if you like talking about a tournament with a skill limit, people actually would create new characters and then create like the perfect skill sheet and train just those skills until they hit like 1 point away from the cap or something. And you just said like this is Eve. If someone can min max or break the game, they will fucking do it.
I keep forgetting that. I keep forgetting that that's definitely something that happens in Eve. I need to learn my lessons seriously. It sounded great in my head.
No, let's see. Well, what do you guys think of these teams that are just they don't play the game except for the tournament when it's supposed to be the Alliance tournament? How do you guys feel about these teams who do nothing but play the game, go for the tournament?
Do you mean like players within the teams, or so like I know the PL Alliance tournament team and the Triumvirate Alliance tournament teams, they basically don't log into EVE except for the tournament, right? Mm-hmm. Or to do it up in some wormhole somewhere. So they, I think it's bad because you also get like what was it? The old was it the old Hun Reloaded team was joined Nully Secunda to compete or something last year, was it, or the year before? I don't like it when the teams stay together and they just hop around alliances to get in, because it excludes people who want to join from that alliance. So if you're in Triumvirate, you're not going to get to compete because the alliance on team's basically pre-picked from the year before. So I don't like that side of things. I like it where it's just an open lottery where any random nerd can, just be like, oh, I would like to fly a Merlin. And the team captain's like, well, you're not terrible, so come on in, we'll see what you're like. The pre-picked teams kind of exclude that. It's not so much the case, I suppose, with Pandemic Legion. They have like a massive roster of like pilots. They even have pilots whose sole job is to train with other pilots, I think. I'm not sure if that's true. I think I was told that was someone who will never compete in the Alliance tournament, but it's their sole job to test all the ships out and stuff like that, because I'm not sure if PO tests against other teams, like a lot of them. So they like to keep
I know they do a lot of in-house testing. I don't think they actually do like out like, hey, we're sort of friendly with you, come help us test against another team.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but I guess more so, what about these alliances that are founded just for the tournament, that aren't actual real alliances per se in the actual game, but rather they make this alliance just for the tournament? Do you think that should be allowed?
I don't, because CCP, they introduce these rules, you must be in your alliance for the X amount of time, your alliance must be this out, and all the people are doing is just, whatever CCP's rule is, they're just, one-upping it, being like, all right, well, we'll join here, we'll join then, so they're making sure they meet the minimum requirement each time without actually being an alliance. Guys will be like, you need to be in your alliance for, what is it, 6 weeks? I don't know, I forget the actual time.
Something like that.
Yeah, but they join right on the deadline or something, just so they're in and be like, right, we're in. We've met a random rules criteria. So I'm not sure I like alliances, especially if it's a brand new alliance, made solely for that, because you're taking a spot away from an alliance that would compete otherwise.
Right.
Now you might just because you win the raffle, basically. Or even if you enter to pay for like the Plex, if your place gets accepted, then some random high sec team who's probably going to get butchered anyway, but who's been together, mining their, I don't even know what Veltbar or whatever, mining it for like years, they they're not going to get in because these guys are just there making an alliance for that one purpose, and then they'll disband. Normally the players would just go to like random alliances to just do nothing. Normally in a wormhole these days, apparently that's the place to be with the old alliance tournament bit of vets. Just go into a wormhole.
I completely agree with that. I think I don't think that they should be allowed like these alliances that are formed just for the tournament, but they're not. Like you said, they're keeping out other established alliances or other alliances that are in the game that would like to participate in their actual like an entity, not just for the tournament. Should definitely be given a preference over this is founded for the tournament that are a group of 10 people just for that purpose.
Yeah,
I agree.
See.
I mean, a lot of people in the especially for the smaller alliances, work really hard to try to get into these tournaments. And I mean, I've seen the amount of work the Redemption Road or the Affirmative Alliance is put in, and you kind of go, okay, so they put in all of this effort, and then the people that just play the game for the tournament and that's it, they're the ones that get in. I mean, it doesn't seem very fair. It doesn't seem like it's rewarding the amount of work and time that goes into playing the game and making things happen. I don't know.
All right, by the way, guys, if you have any questions for Kira or Raknor or myself, just drop them in chat and make sure you tag demontiny.com in chat, and that way I can see them. We're also going to start rolling into our giveaways as well. It's starting to hit that hour mark, so like I said, we typically try to keep the meta show to an hour. Just like want to shout out to Furby von Bartlesby for 7 months of resubs. Thank you so much, man, for the support. Appreciate it. Love you, Rocket, man. But I do have competition on the show today. I have Rakner and his glorious beard, so there's multiple beards.
Oh, Rocket X, the murderer of Oymira. Oh, he'll never be forgiven.
Do you own Amira?
Yeah, that's me getting murdered.
That used to be my alt, by the way.
Was it really?
Yes, I saw that character a few years ago.
It was the worst words you can ever hear when logging in is I'm like Rocket X in local, combat scanner probes out, Hickson scan. Don't worry, they live here. Double words have never been spoken.
Don't worry, they live here.
I didn't know like Faspera. Okay, that's my bad. I didn't know Faspera was like their staging ground. But when those words were spoken, I was like, oh, I know who Rocket X is. Oh, I'm dead. Ips was ecstatic though because he was like, when they land on you, they weren't landing on me. I was like, oh, damn you, Ips.
Apparently they went for Elo first, and they missed Elo, and you were kind of the runner-up.
It's not Elo's Titan. It's Ipsmith's Titan. Everyone just assumes it's Elo. I guess I don't know.
Well, then they went for Ips, and then they end up catching you instead.
Yeah. Oh, so sad.
But no, Omira used to be my jump freighter / freighter pilot, which is why I think it has max freighter skills and everything on it.
Kodari Titan Mastery 5, that's all that matters, boys.
Have you gotten a new levy now?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. Work in
moving
progress.
it, where would you get it, right? Like, with no garage door, moving capitals is just, sod that. I know what everybody at Rust do. I know what Wrecking Crew do. Basically, there's nowhere to go. Just build it yourself. That's your only option these days. Just buy up the CFD with a note and just fly it down through your space and just join Blackbeard in a hot fountain.
Exactly. That's the easiest way. But guys, like I said, we are rolling to the giveaways now, so make sure you type in chat. All you have to do is say something in chat. It doesn't have to actually be anything coherent. Just talk in chat. It will be entered into the giveaway. You have to be following the stream. If you're not following the stream, you cannot win. The list of giveaways that Rakner has selected for our giveaways today, let me find that list again, is going to be Kruger, Dramule, Succubus, and a Worm for our normal giveaways. And then for our sub-only giveaways, we're giving away a Nightmare and an Astero. So here we go with chat spam. What is your favorite color? My favorite color? Purple, of course. Actually, I don't know if I have a favorite color. Purple's okay. Let's see. Make sure I didn't miss any questions. It's always rigged, guys. Our giveaways are always rigged.
Oh wait, doesn't mean I can win something. I should probably type
Yes,
something.
you can win.
No, that would be bad.
Oh, it's fine. Okay, so we're gonna if you have any questions, just ask them in chat. Make sure you tag me at thematani.com. If you do win, you need to message the channel. Message the channel itself, thematani.com on Twitch with your in-game character name and what you won. That way we can make sure to send that out to you. Could Rakner tell me about the Imperium of War?
The Imperium of War is a newbie-friendly corporation currently being operated by boobheads within Black Legion to entice new players, kind of like Pandemic Horde or Karma Fleet. Yeah,
It's the flavor of the day.
Imperium of War is recruiting, I guess.
Yeah,
As I've got
bro.
40 like jabber pokes and things saying mention this, mention this.
Well, I'm glad I dropped it then. Like I was reading Imperium War, I was like, what the fuck's Imperium War? Now I know. So guys, new
wait.
players.
Hang on, if we're mentioning stuff, I have to mention. Yeah, guys. If you guys don't know, because there was a couple of people asking who I was. So my name's Kira Tsukimoto. I used to be in Brave. I'm now no longer in Brave. I fly with Redemption Road and Affirmative Alliance. And so join Redemption Road for MPSI roams. We do fun roams. And also listen to the neocom.com, which is a podcast that I am in with Protavarius. It's new bro friendly, good information, and lots of fun and giggles. I'm done. That's all of the spiel I have. Sorry. Someone would have killed me if I didn't say anything. So.
No, like I said, we're completely okay with newbie shout outs. And let's see, scrolling through the list, don't see any more questions. So we're going to do the first giveaway, which this giveaway is going to be for the crew. Like I said, if you do win the channel, if you do win the crew, you have to message the channel with your in-game character name and what you won. That way we can make sure we send that out to you. The first giveaway is going to be rolled right now. And the winner is Cadazz, Cadazz. The name of the what is the name of the podcast again, Kira?
The neocom.com is the website. I'll type it out.
You might get muted, but let's see. There we go. It
yep,
mute you.
It got muted. Sorry.
Yeah, I got you. Or one of the mods got you.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Oh, okay, copy paste chat moving too quickly. There you go. Astro got it. Thank you, Astro.
Yay!
So, Cadazz, Cadazz, you have won the career buddy. Make sure you say something in chat and let me know that you hear this message, and then you can mail the channel. Imperium of War is the Horus Heresy of Eve. Join the true empire. Help us rid the galaxy of the false Imperium. That's not very nice.
That's mean.
Well, it looks like we've got another Forever War going. Let's go.
Oh God.
The War of Imperiums. No longer the War of the Legions.
DFK by June 2017. I'm calling it. Taking the slow approach this time.
You're throwing down that gauntlet. All right, guys, doing the new roll right now. This next roll is going to be for the Dramule. Dramule is going to be Zoralia. Zoralia is also a subscriber. Thank you so much, Zoralia, for the subscription. Thank you for helping support the channel. Bro fist to you. And everyone, make sure you give him a TMC lick in the channel. And like I said, guys, all these giveaways are completely rigged.
Yeah, I didn't get one, so it's rigged.
It's no matter who wins, it's always rigged. Actually, a couple weeks ago, I won 2 raffles in a row on my Laz account. But typically I show them on screen so everyone knows that I'm not like rigging it.
Sure. It's EVE Online. It's supposed to be all rigged.
I just happen not to be showing that today. There we go. So next roll is going to be for a succubus. Doing that roll right now. Furby Von Bartleby, Furby Von Bartleby, also subscribers. Congratulations, buddy, for the what are we giving out? The succubus, the succubus, man. Thank you so much, man, for the 7 months of subs, 7 months of resubs. Appreciate it so much. Like I said, guys, if you have any questions, make sure you drop them in chat. So that we can get those questions asked for Kira and Raknor. So Raknor, what is Black Legion's plans with Fountain if they end up taking more than they think they will?
We're not. Basically, everything we've got now is what we want. June Ting drew up a nice little map of core territories, buffer zones. Buffer zones don't work. That's out of end. If anything, would be a better buffer than they would, I guess. So we're taking everything that's not a core territory, I guess. And
Capri, that pun. That pun is so. Oh my god! It's like being in the channel of K-Color.
Yeah, so we're taking moons off them at a steady pace, right? So, and it's even line at the end of the day. If you can't hold what you've got, then you won't hold it. But no one's entitled to what they've got. If anyone could come in and take all your stuff off you, then they would, and they'd be right to do so. So. Same like if you just decided to come back to Fountain and just curb stomp everything and just reset it. That's just that's how the game's played, right? So I feel kind of bad because they're brave newbies, but there comes a point where you've got to just get past the newbie part of it and just realize it's EVE Online and we're all there to murder spaceships and get rich. So.
No, that's definitely a good point. I mean, it's just the way it is. If you aren't strong enough to
we haven't escalated to supers yet, so there's that.
As Black, I haven't actually looked in a while. Is your supers actually in range of Fountain now?
Our supers, yeah. we did a move up. We got dropped by Shadow Cartel. We killed like 30 Jeds, but we lost the Nyx because they primaried his avatar, so he was more worried about his avatar exploding. And then out of all the people, they switched to his travel fit Nyx, and he just wasn't paying attention, so he exploded. But
I've lost so many ships like that.
It's just not paying attention.
Yeah, boxing is so hard.
Like when I'm FCing, I'm running like 4 or 5 accounts. I lost while streaming one day. I lost my my links to Ipsimus and Capri because I was actually in convo with Ipsimus, just talking about like getting some fights and stuff. And as I was talking to Ipsimus in chat. I was also on stream with my links, and Capri probed out my links and killed it while I was not paying attention. It was I was like, son of a bitch! I'm sitting here talking to Ipsimus, and you're gonna fucking probe out my links?
Because it would have ruse.
That's the only way to do it. Come on.
No, so EVE's not a friendly game.
No. Blowing up your spaceship is the best way to show friendship.
That screech you get as it hits like armor and shield and stuff, you hear it, and loads of guys in Black Legion have soundboards of that, and they play it, and like my heart just skips a beat every time, and I'll tabbing like crazy, thinking, "Is the Titan outside the post shield? What's going on?" Like your hands are shaking, and I realise what it is, and I just think, "Oh, I hope you die. Hope you fall down a well or something." It's the worst. That screech
it was
is
the
just terrifying.
All right, so. The next giveaway is a worm, guys. Next one is worm. Cypher, CHYPH3R. He's actually an
Yay,
member,
Cypher!
So absolutely rigged. A member of my own corp won something. Thank you so much, Cypher, for the follow. All right, and then we're going to turn it into sub-only mode once Cypher speaks up, saying that he sees that he is, and we're going to do the sub giveaways, which is the.
Nightmare, wasn't it?
Yes, a Nightmare and an Astero.
Well, you had an Estero in there. Did you expect me not to pick the Estero?
I trained up about 4 Astero pilots on that free dual training you got. To think I'll put them in theatre and put them all over the place, and I just trained them and they're all like sat in a Mackie or somewhere, like doing nothing. Pipe Boom is dead. Too lazy to move space systems.
I was good. I trained up Sino-Alts. Not that I've got anything that I could Sino with, but I decided to train up Sino-Alts.
/subscribe. There we go. So I'm always on, guys. I'm going to actually refresh the giveaway window, and then speaking of which, we just got a new sub. Xander Dot, thank you so much for the sub, man. Brofist and TMC TV Lick in the chat for our new sub. 2 new subs. Gauls Orantis, thank you so much, guys. Like I said, we are giving away the Nightmare and the Astero to our subs, and it is going to be going on right now in a second. So subs, type something in chat right now. Type something in chat right now to enter this giveaway.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I actually wish Black Legion would move back to Venal so that I can have content on my doorstep again.
The Venal, I love Venal. The Crystal Army is the best ever.
Well, that's when you know that you guys need money, is when you move back to Venal, because that's when you
my corp has inherited being the Lords of K3J-R because Broski North have sadly passed beyond the rim. But getting there is a nightmare. You basically getting new caps there is impossible. Getting supers in there is, you've got to basically have to sign it through CO2 space. Through Tribute, it's no thanks. And if they nerf jump rates to 5 light years, thanks Fozzie. It would just kill Venal entirely. They'll be like, nope. Yeah, just no, not possible.
We're done.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't help that you just staged QPO in direct bridge range of our staging, right? So you just got at least Herbo Jammer's not a thing, right? That was the worst.
Oh, that was amazing because
amazing. The worst ever.
We just happen to have a few more pilots than you guys that can constantly do it.
just a few more. Just a few more.
No,
you didn't stage in NPC stations, right? Like that's why we stopped staging in NPC null for that period. We were always in Nullsec because Herbo Jam was just retarded.
No, we literally had a Jabber channel of nothing but Dictor pilots. And anytime a Black Legion form-up broadcast would go out, and then we would be relayed to that channel, and then they would instantly log in and start hobo jamming. So it was,
every time I see one of them, I remember all their names.
He has a little black book like Arya Stark.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, we are going to do that. We're going to roll the Astero right now. Rolling the Astero for our subs. Thank you so much, subs, for the support to the channel. Doing that now. And Marco Porcio Catton, you have won the Astero, man. Make sure you type in the chat. Make sure you acknowledge that you got that, and then we will do the last roll for the Nightmare. We'll wrap things up. If any subs have questions for us, you can ask them now. If any other regular questions, I'll turn sub off for a couple minutes after this, that we can get those final questions. And by the way, subs, we do have the new rigged emote up, which is TMC TV GG. I actually typed it wrong. There we go. All right, so. And guys, we're going to roll the Nightmare now as well. Lion IX. So you have won the Nightmare. Congratulations, buddy. That is the last giveaway for our stream today. Turning sub mode off. Doesn't want to turn off. What the fuck? There we go. All right, so it is off. Yes, op success. All right, so like I said, guys, it is now off. If anyone have any questions for us, we're going to give it 2 more minutes, then we're probably going to start wrapping things up. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the Meta Show today, and special thanks to Kira for filling in for Nicetrick and Rakner for joining us after killing our supers last week. The dickhead.
Always a pleasure. Anytime, buddy. Anytime.
Any day is a good day to kill supers.
Yeah, let me know if you got any other move ups found, right?
Yeah. Well, it didn't help that we pinged for it for like a week like a week straight. So you guys had like
Yeah.
entire like 7 days to just completely get planned for it.
I was only vaguely aware of it. Like our guys were like, "Yeah, this is happening." And normally on these things, we're just like, "Oh yeah, maybe we can drop on like a dread or like a random Titan that bumps or DCs." But in fact, we could just actually swallow the entire thing whole. So, yeah, that was a pleasant surprise.
Let's see. When can we have a decent fleet, Lastel? Ganinzo, we're the Imperium. There's no such thing as a decent Imperium fleet.
Can you form fleets in H1Z1? Is that a thing?
That is a thing. You can actually form groups, and we've had like massive groups of like 60, 70 people running around.
You need to max it out. You need the full 254.
I don't think there's an actual max. Let's see. And Capri. I just posted your link, Capri, of of Rakner being compared to American Sniper.
Head shooting all day. That's what I do.
It's the tough job. Someone has to do it, right?
I think that looks more like you, to be fair. I think that's uncanny.
Maybe.
I'm
You have the longer hair. Oh. But no. I actually almost went into the military for the whole special forces, but I decided to do IT work. Because
I'm too much of a coward. I don't want to get shot at.
Well, my vision, my vision's just under 20/20, so I don't qualify. That's why I didn't go in. It was a sad times.
I like not getting shot at. I think that's probably my reason.
I don't mind getting shot at internet spaceships. Let's leave it in the internet world.
It's for the people asking in chat, to send a message to the channel. If you look at the bottom of the stream, you should see a little cogwheel next to the bookmark button. Click that cogwheel, then click message, and you're all set. Flex for good. Hashtag shave Raknor. Rocket.
Razors are incredibly expensive.
Yeah.
The leading contributor to why I have a beard is razor blades are incredibly expensive.
Mine was I didn't feel like shaving every morning for work, so I could sleep an extra like 10 minutes.
So, it's always been cheaper to just buy a razor. Like even like a Gillette or whatever one. It's always been cheaper to buy the razor
than the blades
and get the free blades that come with it and buy new blades. So I've got about 15 razors in the cupboard. Just no blades. Although now, if I see an offer, I can just buy any razor blade ever, and I've probably got one of the handles to actually fit it.
Rocket said he would donate a Plex for the shave Raknor.
I'll get one of the Turkish shaves. It's pretty good.
Oh, all right, guys. So with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the Meta Show. Actually, let me see if there's any streamers going on with Eve, and I will shove you guys. We'll do a TMC raid on that channel. Let's see. None of the diesel guys I watch are on this shit.
Is anyone streaming Eve?
Well, usually Sardcade is streaming.
There's the open. Mining operations continued. That seems like a riveting watch.
Oh my god. Why? He has 200 people watching too of him mining.
Yeah, 230. Oh, Jesus. What's the word coming to?
There's two mining, like 2 channels after that is Eve mining for a while.
1 to 200 ISK per hour. I think he means million or something.
It's
100 ISK an hour is a pretty low tick. That's like pretty low.
Yeah, it's armor. It says armor incursions. I have no idea. But all right, guys. I don't actually see any channels that I would be willing to endorse that look like entertaining. And I don't want to go make you guys watch something really boring because then I'd feel bad. Guys, make sure you're here tomorrow because I believe Nystrick is also streaming tomorrow, and then make sure you're here for Newbie Tuesdays. Actually, this week I'm going to be streaming during Euro time zone, and then rolling into Newbie Tuesday. So you're going to have pretty much all day Eve stream from us on Tuesday with me going through and losing lots of spaceships. So with that, guys, thanks again to Raknar and Kira for coming on today, and we'll see you guys later.